Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the third video in this 12 video series. So we've got a little ways in here, okay? So we're starting to really put some intentional thoughts to certain things in our life, and we're really starting to think about some stuff. And whether you know it or not, you're assigning meaning to all these things that you've gone through and that you've answered. You're assigning meanings to even to me right now. You guys are assigning a meaning, okay? And really what that is it's relativity, okay? So you could say, I'm poor. But poor compared to who? You know, if you take a bum living on the street, you're probably not poor compared to that person, right? But if you kind of compare yourself to like a celebrity, you are poor. You know what I mean? It's what it means to you. It's what the definition of poor is to you. That's what relativity is. And I want you guys to understand this concept because your mind and your mindset is constantly assigning meaning to everything. So right now you're on this wheel. You're on this stuck wheel, and everything in your life you're assigning meaning to is based on your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. Okay? So if all we think and all we feel is frustrated and worried and afraid, and we feel like we're not enough, that's the meaning we're assigning to everything, no matter what. Gentlemen out there, it's kind of like when you come home and maybe you're taking your wife out on a date that night, and you say, "Wow, you look really good in those pants," and she just like loses it and is like, "No, I don't. Like you're mocking me," and like, "Oh, I gotta go change now," and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like, what did I say wrong? Right? But for her, in her mind, she's been thinking about how she's gained 5 extra pounds this last month, and that's all she's thinking about. So no matter what you say, she assigns the meaning that she's fat. Right? And so when we are totally negative all the time, everything that shows up in our life, it could be the best opportunity that's going to get us unstuck, you will think it's something bad and you won't do it. If you're constantly worried and in a state of anxiety all the time, you will never get unstuck, because everything that shows up you're going to think is dangerous. You're going to think that that's not a good idea. That's going to make this happen, or that's going to make that happen. And it's just not true. Because the thing is like everything in life just is. That's where the saying comes from. It is what it is, right? This shirt is just a shirt. But to you, you might think this is a really ugly shirt. I like this shirt, right? It's this difference. It's this perception, right? We are perceiving things all the time. And in our mind, okay, in our brain, if we are not paying attention, if we're not conscious of our thoughts, whatever is operating on autopilot, whatever we have been stuck in, whatever programming we have running on autopilot, that's the meaning that's going to get assigned. Okay? So when something happens and you don't stop and think, what does this mean to me? How do I want to respond to this? Right? Because if you're really thinking and you're really intentional, you can respond. But when you're not paying attention, when you're just letting your auto programming take over, you're reacting. Okay? Do you guys kind of see the difference? Okay, so that is my small little lesson on relativity, because it is ever so important on becoming unstuck, because you will never see opportunities for what they are if you're only looking at them as problems. Every single problem is an opportunity. So if you start looking at it that way, you guys can get yourself unstuck. Okay? We'll see you in the next video.